Good evening, everybody. This is Leanne from Of Love and Shiplap and the founder of Sublimation graphics and tutorials on Facebook. If you are joining us on YouTube, be sure to come join our Facebook group. You can find that link below or at the end of this video. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do how to sublimate double-sided placemats from Bed Bath & Beyond. These are great because you can easily pick them up. You can order large quantities online. And they're priced at $3.99. So I think that that's really reasonable for a nice high quality, it's kind of like a faux burlap material. So these are very nice and very on trend with what people are into right now in terms of the farmhouse market and things of that nature. They do have a couple of different colors that are lighter that you can use for sublimation. I went with white because I think that's gonna look nice on my table and will look good with the two designs I'm gonna be doing for the upcoming holidays. So let me turn you guys around and we'll see what we're working with. So as I mentioned, we've got a 13 by 18, I believe. Got the sticker. 13 by 18 placemat from Bed Bath & Beyond. It's just basket weave. You can see it says it's 100% polyester. They have table runners and napkins that match this that are a similar faux burlap type of material. $3.99 I think is a really reasonable price for the quality. If you guys have seen some of the sublimation placemats, most of them are kind of that rubber or it's not like a plastic, but I know you guys know what I'm talking about. The ones basically geared towards kids. So for adults, for those of us who want nicer tablescapes, we don't want those. These are definitely a good compromise. You can retail these for $10 each, or you can do $12 to $13 if you're going to do them double-sided like we are today. The best way, as always, is to the best way to do this, as always, is to bundle them and do them in a set of 4. If you do a set of 4, you can ship them just about anywhere in the United States for about $6 and change using a first-class mailer with tracking. That's, of course, putting these in a poly mailer, and since they're not breakable or anything else, there's no reason not to put them in a poly mailer. It's probably one of the most affordable ways to ship them. And for 4 of them, you can easily charge about $50 with free shipping and you're gonna make a sizable profit. So I've got my designs today. These are available in my shop if you have the design membership. This is the duo bonus of the week that is out for you guys. I printed these on my Workforce 7710 using A-Sub paper and printer jack ink. Let's go ahead and get you guys on the heat press. Oh, we're gonna need lint roller, heat tape, and well, heat tape or spray if you would like. Lint roller, absolutely. I'm actually not going to use any adhesive just because I do find it easier with these. So let's go ahead and get these going. So as always, the first thing I want to do is give this a nice lint roll. And you always want to make sure you do this anytime you're working with fabric type materials because you just never know what's on there, and miscellaneous lint will leave little blue specks, and things like dog hair or your own hair will hinder the quality of your design. So we're going to want to be using medium firm pressure for these. Now, some of you might be wondering how I know this. Whenever you pick up a product that is not from a sublimation company specifically, you kind of have to use your best guess based on the information that you do have on hand. So first, we know that this is 100% polyester, which means we're going to sublimate it at somewhere between 380 and 400 degrees. Because this is a nice thick material, I went with 400 degrees because it was the most practical option given what we're working with. As far as the pressure goes, sometimes it's trial and error. I'm going to do medium pressure because of the thickness of this, because a lot of times items that are faux burlap don't sublimate very well with light pressure. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, in terms of making sure your pressure is accurate when you don't have a pressure guide, it's really going to depend on how hard it is for you to press down that handle. So you'll see I had to give this a little bit of resistance, which means this is more on firm side than it is on medium, so I am going to loosen it about half a turn. And while I was doing that, I effectively gave this a quick pre-press You always want to pre-press because you never, pre-pressing helps push out moisture that's in your material. And unless there's a special lining inside, which this does not, it's just two materials stuck together. Unless there's a lining inside that might crinkle, this is the best option for making sure that your item is not going to bubble or shrink while your transfer is on it, because that will cause ghosting. So I'm going to start with my fall design, and I'm just going to give this a quick trim because it'll be easier for me to place the design and make sure it's centered that way. And also, sometimes you just want to give something a trim off the edges of your transfer just in case you might have some phantom ink on the edges. So I went ahead and did my design about 16 inches wide by 11.5 inches tall. I thought that would be a good size for this placemat where it wouldn't be too big, but it wouldn't be too small at the same time. We'll get out our handy laser level. For those of you who haven't seen my videos before, this is from Walmart. The price recently increased to $16, as I know because I had to buy a new one because I lost mine. But my batteries are dying. The laser level is a great tool for making sure your designs are straight. You simply line it up just like you would with a level, any other kind of level, and make sure that your bubbles are centered. And once they are, you know that you are good with your design. And you can kind of shift it accordingly. I'm using scripty text so that always creates its own little challenges. All right. Just going to pull this down a little bit and shift it over so we can make sure everything is nice and centered. And that looks pretty good. Let me turn you guys up a little bit. There you go. So you can see better. I'm going to go ahead and place my protective sheet on here just in case any ink escapes through the back of the paper. We don't want it to get on the press and end up transferring onto our next item. We're going to be pressing for 400 degrees at 400 degrees for 60 seconds. I'm using my 16x20 heat press from acesdeals.net. For this particular project, it's actually the perfect size because it ensures that I've got the entire placemat under there, so I can even do a full bleed design if I wanted to. That wasn't really what I was going for with this particular project, but one of the reasons I upgraded to this heat press was because I wanted to be able to do full bleed garden flags without having to do two presses, since I do sell a lot of garden flags and I want to kind of streamline the amount of time that it takes. As always, you guys can ask questions in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them after the video. We got just about 10 seconds to go on this side. And this is my first time doing these, by the way, so, always like to do things on live with you guys. All right, we're gonna carefully lift our press. Before I even peel my design, I'm gonna check. Oh, there we go. And turn this over for you. Hot. It's very hot. I'll just kind of bring you guys closer. So you can see we've got a nice, beautiful design. I think the size was just about right. And now we can go ahead and do the back side. Now, anytime you're doing an item you're gonna do double-sided, even if it's a t-shirt or anything like that, you kind of wanna let it cool completely before you switch to that other side. So I'm gonna pull it off the press so it'll have a chance to cool. We'll kind of shake it a little bit as well. Now, if you're doing a t-shirt and you have to do double-sided, you always wanna make sure to stick a piece of paper, a bit of your of butcher paper or whatever else on the inside, because that will help ensure you don't have any migration into the back or front of your garment, depending on which one you're doing next. All right. So that is all ready to go, and now we're gonna go ahead and we'll give this a quick pre-press on the back just so we're sure that this is nice and smooth, and then we'll get our design lined up right as soon as I find some butcher paper. I'm actually using builder's paper today because I'm out of masking paper and parchment paper, and I personally prefer builder's paper. I just haven't used it in a minute because my saw blade cover busted up on me. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to kind of trim around my design to make it easier to see that it is centered. I just want you guys to know that it is like 90 degrees outside and 100% humidity because there's a hurricane, or you know, the hurricane that's waiting and whatever. So I think it's hilarious that someone's mowing their lawn at the peak of the day right now. Anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and line up my next design. Once again, we're gonna use our little laser level to make sure our text is straight so we know our design is straight. It can always be a little complicated when you're using script text. They're a little harder to gauge. I always try and just line up letters that are the same. So in this one, we've got the R in bright and the second R in merry are both the same style. All right. We'll put a new protective cover sheet on, close our press, 400 degrees for 60 seconds once again. And again, this is my 16 by 20 heat press from acesdeals.net. It was right around $300, so you can really get it from them for a reasonable price, and it was only about $29 to ship it. So that is definitely worthwhile. Always makes you feel good when something doesn't cost a fortune to get it to you, especially something that weighs about 50 pounds. I think it actually weighed like 65. I just remember feeling bad for my poor UPS man. Got just a few more seconds to go. As always, I'm going to use a heat glove because everything is hot. I'm going to hold my press so that that lid doesn't pop up on me. And I'll quickly remove my transfer. Transfer was hot. And my placemat. I'm going to give this a nice quick shake to help it cool down and also to release any press marks that might be in it. And just like that, we have a beautiful placemat, double-sided placemat. It's going to look really nice on my table. And then I can just flip it over for the winter season. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. All the information for the products we use today is in the description for this video. I hope you guys found this useful and have a great night.